What's happening, guys? Welcome to another update video. Today, Saturday, September the 7th, today, just literally, I heard, you guys probably quickly saw his little face come out. Here's his fluffy tail. Here's his fluffy tail. Literally just got back home from the gym about 20-ish minutes ago. Just had my post-workout meal, got showered up, got cleaned up, and really, well, I'm not gonna say really good workout today because it did not start out that way. So Saturday's leg workout, you guys, if you've been following this, you gotta know the trend by now, starting with heavy sumo deadlifts. Now last week, I did 455 pounds for a really easy-ish 3 sets of 3. I was very, very pleased with how well that weight moved. And, this week I was like, you know what? Let's just keep on climbing up. So I threw on 465 pounds. We're gonna let that footage play now. And you guys are gonna see it was not the prettiest. And there's a few reasons why that could be. Number one, nutrition this morning was a little bit against the norm, or not what I would normally have before training. Just food wise, I just wasn't on the ball today, and that's my own fault, my own doing. Another one that I think might have played a factor is that when I did it last week and it moved so good, I had the bumper plates on, which for you guys, if you don't know, the bumper plates are those thick weightlifting plates basically they're coated in rubber so they bounce, and they're bigger than when you do the smaller like a 45-pound plate that's like metal is like this big, where the bumper plates are quite thick. And I don't know if doing with the bumper plates makes the weight distribution a little bit different and thus making it maybe a little bit easier to manage. But when I did the weight today, I just threw on the thinner plates, and man, you guys have seen the footage. Those were some grinders. Those 3 sets of 3, they moved and they went up. But last week when I did just 10 pounds lighter at 455, it was like RPE like 6 or 7, where today it was like 8, hanging up to closing in on 9, which is quite a fight, and maybe a little bit harder than I would want them to be. But anyways, we got through it. We got 3 sets of 3 at 465. Then went into squats at 300 pounds, did a 10-pound jump just like I did with the deadlift. I was like, you know what, 295 sounds dumb. Let's just go 300. And my knees were this week my knees were a little achy, so I was kind of anticipating today they were gonna be giving me a little bit of a hassle, which they did. Not enough to not do stuff, but just enough to be like, man, like, screw off. Like, I don't need to deal with this. So I did my first set without my knee sleeves on, which you guys are seeing me like with those knee sleeves on my shins because I don't want to scratch them up with the deadlift bar. I did it last week and they were bleeding pretty bad. We don't want that. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep those on. So I just slid them up for my second set of squats because, like I said, my knees were a little bit tender. Then after that, went into glute ham raises. Got the 25-pound plate in my hand, been doing the 10-pound plate, and I was like, time for a little bit of an increase. So we did 25 pounds for a couple sets of 10, and those are freaking hard. If you guys have not tried those, there's different ways. You've probably seen them done 100 different ways. You put your feet in the lat pull down in the knee pad to hold your legs down. Sometimes someone's holding your feet. I think there's actually like a rig that you can get that goes on the floor that straps your feet in. But I kind of did this little hybrid with the back extension where I like have my feet pressed against it, and it's good. It hits the hammies pretty good. You get quite a bit of calf in there as well because you kind of have to hold on with your feet, so it's kind of nasty on the calves, not gonna lie. But hey, if my calves grow because of this exercise, then I'm gonna keep doing it, because that's what we need. We need cat. Hey, you can see my cat over there, Zeus. So that after that, it was time for the quad destruction. Leg extensions, 4 sets, 2 sets of 15 to 20, 2 sets of 12 to 15, and then after that, walking lunges with sissy squats, a very, very, very nasty superset Did 20 per leg on the walking lunges, so it's 40 steps total. I got a 40-pound bar on my back this week. Last week we did 30. The week before that we did 20, so we're gonna climb that up. But it's a lot of reps, right? So 40 doesn't seem like a lot, but once you're, lunging for, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 steps, it adds up. It starts to hurt really bad because of course you have your body weight too, right? You're not just lunging with 40 pounds. You've got your body weight plus the 40. Then sissy squats, still doing just body weight because by the end of it, it freaking hurts. It's nasty. I think next week I might, add a dumbbell, holding onto a dumbbell. But the problem with kind of how I have it set up on the leg extension is that like you're not fully secure. So if you start to go back, then you're kind of screwed, especially if you have something in your hands, right? Like if I am doing just my body weight like I did today, I could grab the leg extension. Whereas if I'm holding something, then I might go down. So we gotta be iffy with that. Then the banded leg press to finish. That was nasty. That was brutal. Worked out with a client of mine, Aaron. He's just a young guy, new to the game, but he's been keeping up when we train together, and it's good. It's good. The one thing that, subject to the video now, the one thing that people need to learn most of all when they're learning, whether it's bodybuilding or powerlifting or strength training or just working out in general, is intensity. That is the missing link in a lot of people's journeys. Let's call it that. Everybody's trying to find the best way to train, right? The best rep scheme to follow, or the best exercises to do, or the optimal workout length, and all these little variables that in the end do not matter as much as you think they do. As long as you're training hard, your body will respond. Yes, you can eventually dial things in and optimize little things, but if you're just going to the gym and screwing around and sitting there on your phone and doing a couple sets of 12 on this and a couple sets of 20 on lateral raises because you heard 20 was the best, and then you're doing sets of 5 on this because you heard 5 was the best, and you're doing the superset because you saw someone on Instagram do it and they're jacked. But if you're not training hard, you are wasting your time. And yes, that is a bold statement, and no, I'm not saying that you need to be going 100 miles an hour or you're not going to get results. But there is something to be said about going in the gym and putting your headphones on and getting in there and getting it done and training hard, right? Those heavy deadlifts, like you saw, those were a fight. This banded leg press, that shit is hard and it hurts, and you're pushing with everything you've got. Those are the sets, those are the reps that count, guys. It's not the little things, I don't know, what's some dumb shit people do, the tricep extension, holding your elbow with the cable, yeah, you're gonna probably get a good burn and your triceps are gonna be fatigued and you're gonna have a decent pump, but if you're not doing some heavy extensions and some heavy pressing, you're gonna get beat by a guy that has those exercises in his routine all the time, right? The big movements, the big compounds. I talk about this a lot. You guys probably heard me say this 100 times, but your training needs to be mostly made up of big movements, big compound exercises, deadlifts, squats, bench press, pull-ups, rows, shoulder press. All these exercises need to be in there in some way or another. And again, you don't always have to do the same thing, right? I was doing conventional deadlifts for a long time, and now I'm doing sumo, or I was doing squats on the Smith machine, now I'm doing free weight. You don't have to commit 24/7, 365 to the same thing over and over again, but the difference will be is if you're going hard on those squats, hard on those hack squats, hard on that leg press, hard on that bench press, hard on that incline dumbbell press, these big movements. If you're going hard and pushing yourself and fighting for those reps and not stopping when you think your body's had enough, most of the time you've got more in the tank. Very, very rarely do you see somebody training to true failure and training till they just and pushing till they just can't no more. But you look at a lot of the best athletes in respect to bodybuilding, because that's what we're gonna be, talking about. That's what I'm about. You look at how Ronnie Coleman trained, or Dorian Yates, Jay Cutler, like these guys were going hard, right? And yes, they're enhanced, but it goes the same for a natural athlete, and even more so because we don't have that extra assistance, right? Like, we've got to train hard, we've got to push ourselves, because if we don't, then we don't have these extra substances to kind of make up for the slack, right? We don't have those extra little, substances in our body that are like, okay, if you're only going to train this hard, I'll kind of make up for what you're not doing. We gotta put it all out and put it in there every single time. And yes, there's gonna be days where you maybe can't go as hard, right? You've had a busy, long day at work, or you're stressed, or you didn't sleep well. All these things, yes, they play a part, but at the end of the day, you've got to make 9 out of 10 sessions count. Because if you don't, you're gonna get left behind, right? And if you're of the mentality that I want to be the best I can be, and I want to chase this lofty goal, which is whether it's a pro card, or it's going on the Olympia stage, or winning the Arnold Classic, or whatever that is, if you're not going hard, you can bet other guys are, and it will show, right? It will show on stage. You're gonna stand next to these guys, and the judges are gonna look, and they're gonna see what you didn't do, but they're gonna see what they did, and that, you can't let that happen. That's got to be your mindset. You can't let that happen. If it's truly important to you, you just can't. You can't just crumble and let that fall behind. So, long story short, train hard, okay? So now let's get into the rest of this video. So leg workout done. Footage from yesterday's push workout was okay. Shoulder, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last video, but at work we've been drywalling and doing all this stuff, and my shoulders are feeling it. Running the drywall trowel and all this stuff, and painting and sanding. Like, you can imagine doing this for like 7-8 hours a day, like your shoulders are gonna be tender. So feeling it going into yesterday's push workout, and it's not bad when I'm training, but I know afterwards that I'm like, when I'm leaving the gym, I'm like, yeah, my shoulders are gonna be hurting, and that's the reality of it. But as of next week, I will not be working construction anymore, thank goodness. Don't get me wrong, really enjoy it, but for me and my goals, it's not gonna get me there. So I'm excited to have that chapter close as of this coming Friday, and then I'll be able to let those muscles recover and not deal with those issues anymore. So, like I said, going into yesterday's workout, I was like, meh, like my shoulders are a little tender, but we'll see what we can do. But we still hit some good numbers, 260 on incline for 2 sets of 5. They were pretty heavy, and then a back off set of 245 pounds for 8 or 9, I believe. Then went to flat dumbbell press, which I was happy with, actually. I got 3 by 10, I think. For sure, the first one was 10. I think it was 3 by 10 at 110 pounds in each hand. Excuse me, 110 pound dumbbells. Very, very pleased with that. Then did a cuffed cable fly, which was super, super good on the pecs. And then I didn't do an overhead press because my shoulders were a little tender, but I did a shit ton of lateral work. So I did like the crucifix lateral raise, where you have the cuffs on each hand and you lie down or sit on an incline bench. That was good. The setup at the gym I go to now is really good for that, actually. It's like a dual cable row, but you can cuff each side and then cross and open up. So I did those, and then I did cable lateral raise, did some upright rows, and some triceps, which finished off the workout. And then tomorrow we've got push, back and buys, and we're gonna go see It Chapter 2. Super stoked about that. Today, the rest of the day today, Carrie gets a cheat meal. She's working with a coach who has allowed her something tasty today, so I don't know what exactly we have in store for that meal, but I'm off season, so I got room to play with. I'm looking forward to what's to come, as we were 188.0 this morning, which is an all-time high, in the mornings, fasted, no food, after going to the washroom, 188 pounds on the dot. I'll put some progress pictures up right now that I took this morning, and you know what? I don't look half bad. I still look like I lift. I don't look like a fat slob, and in bodybuilding in the off season, it's a tough call because you get too carried away, all of a sudden you just look like a fat pig, and we don't want that. So yeah, 188 pounds, chasing 190 in the mornings by maybe the end of October. That'd be kind of cool. So it's beginning of September now, 2 pounds over the next 7-8 weeks. Probably do that. I don't anticipate seeing 200. I really don't. But no, I'm calling it now. 200 in the morning will not happen. There's no need for that. But I think realistically, 190 to 195 for a little bit of time, that'll happen. So when that time comes, you guys, dude, you are so loud with that bone. Look at this. So he's got this bone, and he's got it like cleaned right off. But he chews on it, and it's so noisy. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but like, you just gnawing on it, man. Yeah. Being too loud. Anyways, guys, we're gonna close out the video here because we are 16 minutes in, and that's enough of me chatting for one day. So, hope you guys are enjoying these update videos. Because of my new job, I'm gonna be able to vlog again. We're gonna be able to get some more content out, and hopefully you guys will like that. Hopefully you guys will like seeing my face a little bit more. So, well, subscribers are climbing. I think we're like 780. We're kind of getting like 2 or 3 a week, which I'm happy with that. We'll be 1,000 one day, which is cool. 1,000 of you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm happy. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said, let me know. Always open to suggestions. What you guys want to see more of, whether it's training footage. Oh, I dropped you. I'm sorry. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys in the next one.